I was once the most famous simp in school. For the sake of a girl, I gave up my studies, my health, and almost died from obsession. But in this second life, I decided to live for myself. Yeah, when I decided to stop being a simp, the school beauty who once broke my heart suddenly panicked. She started chasing me. From simp to comeback, just how far can I go? After dinner, Jack Z and his family went to stay at a hotel. Tony Z and Alex Z walked them to the front gate of the complex. Jack Z lit a cigar and patted Alex Z's shoulder. Don't worry if you can't get into college. I've got a construction site. You can get some real minus world experience there. Alex Z smiled calmly. You don't need to worry, Uncle. I will get into Jeongju University. He had lived through too much in his previous life. Now he knew how to control his emotions. If you had nothing and still couldn't control yourself, then to others, you were just a loud, powerless joke. Have you ever thought, Jack Z continued, even if you do get into Jeongju, that doesn't guarantee success. You don't actually believe everyone who goes to college makes big money, do you? It was a blunt truth, harsh but real. Jack Z had seen the world during his years of hustling. To most people, just getting their kid into college was already a dream come true. Knowledge changes fate. Just like you said before, your destiny is in your own hands. So how I shape mine doesn't need your commentary. Uncle. Jack Z looked surprised. Alex Z said something like that, but then Alex Z stared directly into his eyes. Ever heard the saying, don't look down on a poor kid? Alex Z grinned. So you think you'll strike it rich one day? And I should start sucking up to you now? Jack Z chuckled with disbelief. It's getting late. You'd better find a room before the hotels fill up. Hands in his pockets, Alex Z smiled lightly. Verbal sparring was meaningless. When he made his fortune, that would be the time to slap them in the face. Tony Z lit a Hong Tash and cigarette, took a deep drag, and sighed. Son, I embarrassed you and your mother today. Alex Z, at 5'10", stood half a head taller than his dad. He put one hand in his pocket and slung the other around his father's shoulders. He did it for the family. Whatever dignity we lost, we'll get it back. Tony Z chuckled and put on a serious face. You see it now, right? If you don't have skills, no one will respect you. So you better get into college and become someone real. Who says my dad isn't already somebody? One day, I'll make sure they all see how awesome you really are. The father and son joked and laughed, their shadows stretching long under the dim street of twilight. After Jack Z's family returned to the city, Alex E started working even harder. Every morning, he got up at 5 a.m. to go running. After coming home, he'd eat dinner, then study again until midnight before showering and going to bed. Amina's eye grew worried. Tony, do you think our son was provoked by your brother? He's been studying so intensely, I'm afraid he'll burn himself out. Tony Z sat on the balcony, smoking, his voice low. Don't you think our son's been acting a lot more mature lately? I mean, as he froze for a second, then widened her eyes. Actually, yeah. He talks and acts like a grown-up now. I sudden thought made her shiver. With a trembling voice, she asked, you don't think he is possessed or something? Tony Z flicked her forehead and said, Grump-I-L-Y, quit that nonsense. Our boy's just grown up. Time flew by. The final year of high school felt like a race. And just like that, there were only 5 days left until the college entrance exam. Standing at the podium, teacher Amy S. wore a serious expression. There are just 5 days left until the exam. You've all been working hard, and I truly believe each of you will get into your dream school. She adjusted her glasses and looked at Alex Z. His results were freakishly good. Amy S. didn't dare announce his actual scores. Alex has been grinding like crazy lately. He even skips lunch breaks to do practice tests. That's nothing, he brings his English vocab book to the bathroom. No way, that's insane. Many students looked at Alex Z with admiration. Clutching his chest dramatically, Michael C. groaned. Bro, Alex, remember the vow we made? You said we'd go work in a factory together. Alex Z glanced back at him, annoyed. When did I ever say that? You totally did. Michael C. pouted in mock outrage. Alex Z's lips twitched. How did he end up with such a ridiculous friend? Still, as goofy as Michael C. was, he was a real bro. In Alex Z's last life, Michael had scored high enough for a second-year university. But since Alex Z hadn't gotten it anywhere, and had to work in a factory, Mikey gave up school to join him. He only lasted a few months before his dad dragged him back and forced him to enroll. Later, Michael used 100,000 yuan from his dad to start a small business. They hadn't seen much of each other since. But what stuck in Alex E's memory most was how Michael C. came to see him one last time in the hospital. He cried like a baby, promising to take care of Alex C's parents as if they were his own. It was only after hearing those words that Alex E finally let go and flatlined peacefully. "Alright, class," said Teacher Amy. "You have 5 days left. You're allowed to review at home to rest up. The exam is on June 7th, but don't forget to arrive early on test day." Teacher Amy S. gave a passionate speech. She cited examples of students she had mentored who graduated from top universities, entered state-owned enterprises, or became successful entrepreneurs. The classmates listened eagerly, their eyes filled with admiration. "Teacher, do you think I can get into Zhangzhou University?" Sarah C. suddenly raised her hand to ask. All the classmates turned to look at Sarah C. "Don't take it lightly, but you have a good chance." Teacher Amy S. gave a vague reply. Although Sarah C. had achieved excellent scores in recent mock exams, Amy S. didn't want to overpraise her to prevent her from slacking off. Sarah C. smiled confidently. Recently, she had been studying hard, and she felt confident about getting in Zhangzhou University. Sarah C. glanced at Alex E. She wanted to ask Teacher Amy about Alex E's chances of getting into Zhangzhou University, but to save him some face, she decided not to. Though Alex Z had made great progress in his studies recently, Sarah C still thought his limit was a second-tier university. With the bell ringing, the last class of the day ended, but the students stayed quietly in their seats. Class dismissed. Teacher Amy S sighed deeply, finally saying the 2 words. Today, she had surprisingly not taken up the break time for herself. "Freedom!" Michael C jumped up and tossed his textbook into the air. Immediately, the entire classroom erupted with excitement. However, some students chose to stay seated, quietly reflecting. The high school years were coming to an end. Some of them might make it into college and get higher education. Others might have to step into society early and face hard knocks. At this moment, Alex Z was silent. It had been a month since his rebirth, and now he was about to see the results of his hard work. And getting into Zhangzhou University was only the beginning of his new life. "Alex, this is for you." Isabel T, who had already put her backpack on, blushed and handed Alex a pink piece of folded paper, shaped like a heart. "This is..." Alex Z looked up at Isabel T. But before he could respond, she had already quickly run out of the classroom. Damn, could this be a love letter? Could it be that after all this time, this little girl had fallen for him? Just as Alex U was about to open the letter, Michael C suddenly slammed his hand on the desk. "Bro, Alex, let's go online. All night, my treat." "Seriously, we're talking about the exam. And you're thinking about an all-nighter?" Alex shot him a look. "What about the essay on variety?" "How's that research coming along?" Michael C pouted. "Well, I've been working on it, but I'm not sure if the exam will have that topic." "It's fine, as long as you're studying." Alex Z packed all his books into the bag he'd brought from home. "Bro, Alex, if the exam really has variety as a topic, I'll make sure you get extra high marks." Michael C grinned widely. Alex Z carried his bag, looking indifferent. "I'm not sure either, but it doesn't hurt to learn more." He didn't explain too much, though, as it would have been hard to explain how he knew the exam topic. "Alex A." Sarah C walked up to Alex Z's desk. "Is there something?" Alex Z glanced at her calmly. "Thank you for everything you've done for me these 2 years." Sarah C smiled shyly. If someone didn't know better, they might think she was about to confess to Alex Z. But Alex Z, the person involved, remained indifferent and said, "Just speak plainly. No need for beating around the bush." Sarah C ran her fingers through her bangs, smiling sweetly. "Actually, what I want to tell you is, even if you get into Zhangzhou University, I won't accept your pursuit." "Are you okay? You still think I'm trying to get into Zhangzhou University for you?" Alex Z couldn't help but laugh at Sarah C's words. Hadn't his attitude over the past month been obvious enough? "I know you're too shy to admit it, but it's okay. I just wanted to say what I needed to say." Although your grades have improved dramatically with Isabel T's tutoring, you'll be lucky to get into a third-tier university. Don't even think about Jeongju University. Sarah C spoke with an air of arrogance, her tone dripping with condescension. Bang! Michael C slammed his fist on Alex Z's desk, his voice full of anger. Sarah C, can you have some shame? What has Alex Z ever done to you? Why do you have to say such hurtful things that insult his dignity? As Alex Z's best friend, Michael C knew exactly how Alex Z had treated Sarah C, since Alex Z started liking her. But how did Sarah C treat Alex Z? She had no interest in him, yet she gladly accepted everything he gave her. In the end, she would still humiliate him, hurting his self-esteem. It was like stabbing him in the heart. Insult his dignity? Does he even have any dignity? His dignity is reading love letters in front of the whole class. Sarah C scoffed and shook her head. She looked at Alex Z, only to see him remain calm, showing no signs of getting upset by her words. Are you done? Alex Z raised his dip eyes and asked. Not yet. Let's make a bet. If you can get into Jeongju University, I'll agree to date you. How about that? Sarah Z's face held a playful smile, as if she were certain Alex Z could never get into Jeongju University. She wanted to see Alex Z put everything on the line, only to fail miserably. Sure. Alex Z responded with a smile. Sarah C paused for a moment, surprised that Alex Z actually agreed. He really had no self-awareness, but it didn't matter. I'll be watching. Sarah C smiled and turned, walking out of the classroom with her bag. At the door of the classroom, a few of Sarah C's friends gathered together and began laughing loudly. Bro, Alex, you okay? Michael C patted Alex Z's shoulder and asked, I'm fine. My mental toughness is solid. Alex Z smiled, showing no signs of worry. When Sarah C came to talk to him, he already knew what she was going to say. In his previous life, no matter how hard he worked, he didn't get into Jeongju University. In the end, he became the laughingstock of his classmates. Even years later, at class reunions, some classmates would still bring it up to humiliate him. The bet with Sarah C was just a way for him to slap her in the face after he got into Jeongju University. School let out early that day. When Alex Z got home, both Amina Z and Tony Z weren't there. He grabbed a bottle of soda from the fridge, sat on the couch, and nervously opened Isabel T's letter. Could it be a love letter? No, it couldn't be. It was probably just words of encouragement. He opened the letter, and what he saw were neat, delicate handwriting characters.